My boyfriend's cousin stole his credit card and robbed him blind, but now I'm not sure that's true.
I feel like, have you ever seen that Mr. Beast video where Mr. Beast gives them the credit card and they get to like spend it on like Gucci and Louis Vuitton?
Right.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe this story is actually about Mr. Beast and it was totally fine and not a big deal at all.
Backstory. I, 27 female, and my boyfriend, 34 male, have been together for 5 years and have worked really hard to save for a house.
Nice.
2 weeks ago, we fell in love with the house and we put down an initial deposit on the property. The house won't be built though until the end of 2022. Can't build up without a strong foundation. That's what they always say.
That's true. You know, they say don't build a house on sand.
That's right.
And this sounds like dirt.
This is solid
dirt.
We've been in talks with the mortgage broker and the builders and finance people, etc. But last week we received some shocking news when my boyfriend's credit card score came back as trashed.
What are we talking? Are we talking like, you know, a 750 to like a 650?
I think we're talking in the gutter.
What is in the gutter for a credit score?
The gutter is, I mean, probably, I don't think we ever know, but 400 or below.
Ooh.
I mean, that's bad, right?
Ooh.
That's terrible. But there was some activity on the credit card statement that was 100% not his and a credit card that had gone into default in the last 6 months. This credit card was originally my boyfriend's, but he swears he closed the account and canceled the card mid-2019.
Oh,
Long story short, we have discovered that a family member that was living with him a few years ago got a hold of the card at some point and has been using the card on and off since 2019.
No way.
That
Wait, but
is
isn't there a
bad.
point where like you can't withdraw any more money?
There's a point, like a credit card limit.
Yeah.
But you will probably hit a limit. They defaulted on payments in early 2020, but paid this off, but then defaulted again in December of last year.
Wait, they paid it off?
They paid it off, but then ran it up again and then defaulted it. He then defaulted again in December of last year, and the account was still in default and owed over $5,000 in charges and late fees. These charges were for shopping, news agency, takeaway food, pubs, gambling, etc. My boyfriend had zero knowledge of this and hasn't had access to the account after he closed it and hasn't been receiving statements or notices from the bank. Family member has diverted all of the notices to their address. Now we are unable to apply for a bank loan for the house as they won't lend my boyfriend because of his credit. And that's where it really
that cousin
you.
totally screwed them over.
Because the cousin is maybe like trashing his credit and his credit is fine and he can go do whatever he wants, you know? So now we have two options. Number one, proceed with fraud investigations and charges to the family member, allowing us to prove this is of no fault of my boyfriend's and successfully securing the loan. Or number two, boyfriend pays the debt and we wait at least 2 years from the debt payoff date for his credit to regain after the loss.
2 years.
2 years. So OP says option number two would set them back at least 3 years for starting a family and their lives as homeowners.
That's insane.
This will also not allow my boyfriend to secure a bank loan to start up his own business, which he's been dreaming of starting for a few years. And this was the year he had planned on doing it. This has devastated us and put a major delay in our plans. My boyfriend doesn't like conflict, and so he is going with option two. He isn't even planning on mentioning anything to this family member. He wants it to all go away and thinks the family member is going through a rough time.
That, bro. I mean, like, I understand not wanting to maybe, like, you know, put your cousin in prison.
Yeah.
But, like, because they're just going to steal more of your shit.
Literally. I want my boyfriend to proceed with the fraud charges and investigation. He has worked too hard to not have our dream house and him start his own business. So am I the a-hole for pushing my opinion on my boyfriend?
Not the a-hole for pushing your opinion on your boyfriend. I think, I mean, like, you can, like, give it whatever advice you want to your boyfriend, but ultimately it is the boyfriend's decision. But I mean, I would at least say, like, you know, talk to the cousin.
Try.
Jesus.
Like, God.
Man is so non-confrontational that someone can tank his credit score, steal 3 years of his life, and he's still like, you know,
It's okay.
It's okay.
He's going through a rough time.
He's going through a rough patch. But the thing is, like, it's not a rough patch. Man has been stealing for like over a year.
Yeah, 3 year rough patch. Like,
yeah, come on.
I don't know, bro. But Sam,
what, John?
There's an update. I want to begin by thanking everyone for their advice. There were some really constructive strategies and words of advice.
Okay.
I spoke with my boyfriend about my concerns, and I was honest with him that it seems like things he were telling me didn't all make sense.
Okay, so that's why he's not wanting to
Yeah. He was adamant that he didn't know anything about the credit card or the apparent inquiries on his credit account about payday loans. My boyfriend is still refusing to open any fraud investigations against his family member, and he said that he will pay off all the debt himself.
That's suspicious.
But some other things did come out during our conversation that he was hiding from me. Lying has been a big issue during our entire relationship. In the past, I've forgiven him for his lies, but I can't keep forgiving him for the same issue every few months when he promises to change, but we're in the exact same spot every few months. And I'm not talking little lies here. I'm talking big lies and even bigger lies to cover him up. I know I'm stupid for giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
Yes. So in saying this, my boyfriend is now my ex-boyfriend.
Oh, thank you for listening to the signs, my darling.
Over. When I spoke with my boyfriend about my concerns above, he ended things by picking up his bag and driving away.
Oh, so he broke up with you. Yikes.
That was the last time I've seen him in person. This is how this man dealt with issues in our relationship for 5 years. We haven't spoke much since, but I have definitely resigned to the fact that my relationship is over. I think he's expecting me to forgive him like all of the previous times, but I've packed up his stuff and I'm going to give it back to him after our city comes out of lockdown. There is a good ending to this story though.
Okay.
I spoke with my mortgage broker and the housing developers. I can't afford the original townhouse I fell in love with, but a similar townhouse that I also loved came available and I was approved for it. Hey. I paid my deposit 3 days before my birthday last month. I have just bought myself a house.
Yo, that's awesome. Okay. Ditch the fucking
Lose
terrible
the loser
ex-boyfriend
boyfriend. Yeah.
and buy yourself a house. Ladies,
Hey,
you can do it all by yourself.
we love a queen glowing up.
Yeah, we love an empowered queen.
Yeah, we do.